Hello, all. It was once said that what is good for the automotive sector is good for the economy. The Europeans and Americans were disrupted by the Asian giants in the automotive sector. However, the dominance of the combustion engine did not change. With electric cars, shared mobility, and the pandemic changing the business realities, this will be one of the most exciting sectors of any economy. You can already see that in the valuation of companies like Tesla. We at AWS are involved in each and every aspect of the auto industry, from electric car platform, shared mobility, to Industry 4.0 on the manufacturing sector. This is one of the best sectors for us to focus on. I'm Ashish Dhawan and I lead the enterprise business for India and South Asia for AWS. And with me is Mr. Mahesh Babu, MD and CEO of Mahindra Electric, part of the 20 billion Mahindra Group. Mahesh has been with the group for 20 plus years and has been involved in projects as varied as the XUV 500 SUV to the Mahindra three wheeler. Welcome, Mahesh.
Thank you, Ashish. My pleasure.
Mahesh, can you tell me about the digital transformation in the very traditional automotive sector and the forces behind the automotive sector's transformation?
See, if you look at auto sector, it's a century-old sector, and it has been well established over a period of time. There are a lot of incremental innovations which have happened in the sector for a long time. But if you look at last decade, I think there is a disruptive changes happening in the sector. I would say mainly it's because of technology, and it's also a change in consumer behaviors and how the sector is looking at now. The auto sector is no more a sector of manufacturing. We are now looking at mobility as a new paradigm, and how auto sector is serving the narrative of mobility rather than just selling an automobile in the field. So there are a lot of transformation happening in digital, particularly in the traditional auto sector, which is good to have, because if you look at the enterprise, there are a lot of digital transformation happening either in the product development, manufacturing, or even sales. Today we are talking about sales through digital channels. Even reaching out to customers digitally has taken a substantial portion when compared to regular way of getting the inquiries through newspaper ads and TV ads. I think digital plays a very vital role now, from let's say concept to the customer acquisition. Having said that, let's look at the product by itself. I think product by itself, the electronic and software were about 10% from 10 years back in auto industry. When it goes to EV, it looks like about 30 to 35% of contribution of value comes from electronics and software. So, and hence the product by itself is transforming into a place where digital is coming up, playing a vital role. And this leads to a lot of business opportunities, and this leads to a lot of change in what I would say skill level mindset across the auto industry. But I would say this is actually bringing in efficiencies, bringing in improvements in the product, and with autonomous EVs, I think that value will substantially go up from 30% to even up to 50% plus. So that's how I would see auto industry is looking at. But auto industry, I would say, mainly is going towards an industry for providing mobility. You are already seeing a lot of mobility as service models in auto industry. Whether mobility as service model is challenging auto industry, or auto industry is getting into mobility of challenges, only the future will let us know. But everybody is everywhere. Everybody is experimenting to give the best to the customers.
That's great to hear. Mahesh, that brings me to my next question, which is what do you see is the increasing role of software or telematics and embedded systems in the automotive sector?
I would say substantial. Let me tell my personal example. I used to come out of college with a passion about combustion, because most of the engineers and innovation 3 decades back used to be around improving internal combustion engines. Most of the engineers come out of the college with a passion to do something about efficiency, fuel economy, I would say emissions and things like that. but that is completely changing. 3 decades down the line, now I am seeing that 70 to 90% of the automotive innovations today being registered, IPR and other things, is about embedded system and control systems. And I would say 30% price of the modern vehicle, which I have already told you, is about embedded electronics. And look at the development cost. We used to do product development of, let's say, our vehicles like Scorpio or XUV 500. Most of the time we look at product development in terms of investing in tooling, manufacturing. Today close to 50% of our development energy, effort and money is going towards developing software and control systems. So if IC has about zero point 0.5 million codes to 1 million codes, today our EVs have close to 10 millions of codes available, and it's very complex. So I'm seeing going forward with autonomous electric vehicles coming in, it's becoming more integrated, and with connected cars and with connectivity and services coming in, I think it will change the whole world. With I would also say that with 5G coming in and the latency getting achieved, I think it will open up a lot of remote control of cars today, what's happening, and avoid accidents on safety, create value to the customer, not to buy the whole thing, but give services based on what he or she uses or utilizes. And there are many things which can come in. I would say today, most of our engineers in product development, I used to have, let's say, 20 years back, let's say 30% of engine guys, almost 40 to 50% of vehicle system guys, and about 10-20% of electrical guys. Today, if I can see in my own product development in our company, the embedded system and software guys is more than 50%, because the efforts are going to be in those directions. So I feel slowly auto industry is getting computerized, more line of codes, control system, and it is giving benefit to the customers.
That's fantastic. Uh, Mahesh, last year we saw a number of developments in the electric vehicle space from manufacturers like Tesla, Ford, and yourself. In addition to the developments, car makers made claims about how fast they'll be introducing new cars, hybrid vehicles over the next few years, partially in response to tightening efficiency and emission standards. What do you think is the future of electric automotive?
See, I strongly believe the auto industry in the last decade and going to be in the next decade is going to kind of transform from an incremental improvement to a transformative change in the way automotive industry is working, particularly on sustainability. Because if you look at Paris Agreement and the commitments by various countries, including India and many other countries, we are looking at no more life as usual when it comes to utilization of energy, creation of, let's say, economic activity without impact on social and, let's say, environmental conditions. So, and hence this has put a lot of efforts towards people looking at sustainable mobility solutions. So if you look at sustainable mobility, then there are two portions of it. One is efficiency, and another is, let's say, CO2 or the global warming kind of emissions we need to control in. Both have to play a role, like how LED came and revolutionized the lighting industry, and it took a lot of time, but it happened just like that in India. EVs are like that. EVs are the most efficient machines available for running any kilometer of automobile. It's the most efficient because the electric motor is about 85 to 90% efficiency, whereas the IC engine is 20-23% efficiency. So, and hence it is very difficult to ignore EV, and hence EV is going to play a vital role. While I say EV, I think it also covers hydrogen fuel cell, another alternate way of energy generation, sustainability, but ultimately a motor will drive your wheels going forward. Now, how fast will it happen? Will it happen suddenly? Will it happen? It all depends on policy. Auto industry, as you rightly said, is an economic activity, and it's also a GDP of many countries. So people have to look at this transformation in a very sustainable way, economically, environmentally, and also socially. And we believe that the future is going to be very, very sustainable way of mode of transportation. Particularly, EV will play a vital role. And also, there are a lot of inefficiency when I talk about the operations today are not very, I would say, effective. The asset utilization is not so effective. Most of the automobiles or the personal cars, like you and me, I think it is parked more 95% of the time, and we use it 5%. It's not going to be going forward. I think we'll have to look at asset utilization. We have to look at per unit economics of moving per kilometer, and all that is going to come in the automotive domain. And I believe electric is going to be playing a very vital role in future of electric mobility with connected and value added services and utilization of asset. And all this can happen only when the cars are connected, and when it is being constantly monitored and improved over a period of time. For example, we have about 230 million kilometers of electric mobility in India, and that helped us a lot in improving our efficiency, giving the best services to customers. And this is going to completely be the future.
Makes sense. That's very insightful, Mahesh. That brings me to my next question, which is, I think, super important for the future of this sector, which is about infrastructure. What do you think are the OEMs or the car manufacturers' role in connected mobility solutions? For example, for vehicle to infrastructure, vehicle to vehicle, or EV grid. What do you think is the car manufacturers or the OEMs' role here?
I think on the connected mobility solution, I would say there are two or three fronts of need coming from the market. One is the safety. When you look at the safety of the customers, I think we have a lot of accidents, lot of fatal accidents across the globe where we use precious life of human beings. That needs to be avoided. That is one set of activity which happen. Second one is about the sustainability. We talked about EVs and others playing a role. The third one is customer comfort and time, because most of the time, if you look at Bangalore, the average time of any executive spending on the road used to be 3 hours to 4 hours a day, which is very unproductive. So, how do we make customers productive? How do we make the vehicles safe? And how do we make them sustainable? Are the three important levers I would say OEMs are looking at to do it. If you look at how to look at the safety, I think autonomous is one of the one. The autonomous have different levels. You have level 5, level 2, level 3, but ultimately it is aimed at two things. One is to avoid collision, to take care of the safety. At the same time, it also gives the second leg, which I tell, relieve the customers from wasting time and look at productive work. And that also leaves us to the second leg where we'll have to look at connected travel. People want today with where productivity, you need Wi-Fi, you need connectivity for people in the car, and how we can utilize the time best. If it is family, if it is productive in office, we need to create an ambience of house or office in the car. That's what we'll have to look at in connected digital enterprise inside the vehicle. And the third one is about sustainable. So we are talking about driving the car very through electric motors, and EVs are going to play a role. When EVs come, I think it's not about the car. Then you need to look at how to vehicle will talk to the infrastructure, and infrastructure will talk to the vehicle, because EVs are no more isolated from the grid. We'll have to now look at EVs as part of the grid. Then we have V2Gs and G2V technologies, where actually if you have 100,000 cars in a city, each of them have let's say even 50 kilowatt hour battery. That's a huge energy storage available in the city. And most of the infrastructure we are today installing in power generation is for the peak, and we never use them all the time of the day. If your peak is your need, then actually we can through connected cars make it viable that these cars, when they are not utilized, can actually feed the grid at appropriate time when the grid needs it. and hence we can bring in a lot of, I would say, efficiency both in the vehicle in transportation as well as in the grid, and they will complement each other, because even in the grid today, the mega power plants are the past. Now we are talking about mini and micro grids, how to sustainable develop power locally, and so that we can avoid transmission. So these cars, electric cars with a lot of storage of battery, can play a vital role there. So the OEM role right now is to provide ambience of office or what say home at the car, make it safe and avoid collision. Third is make it sustainable and make sure it plays a vital role when the asset is not utilized, so that it can play a role in the grid. So that's where I would look at in general about three legs on the OEM's role, to look at what they create on the future, and all this can be done only through connected services, through embedded system and software seamlessly.
Thank you, Mahesh. That was again really insightful. Bring me to my last question, Mahesh, which is how can Mahindra Electric and EWS collaborate together even more than what we do today?
Yeah, I think we are already Mahindra Electric and AWS have joined hands, and we are utilizing many of your services. I strongly feel that we know the customers, and we need a clear platform which will help us to leverage the connected services, and particularly connected services of the cars with the grid. And we are also talking about AI around it, and we are talking about IoT services and many more. And AWS has a lot of such services which will complement each other. If you look at our three-wheeler market, through our connected services, we are talking about faster adoption to remove the inhibitions about charging. We can even connect chargers location, chargers with vehicles, and we can remove lot of what I would say myths around the customers by connected services. While many of us talk about connected services of a car and others, in fact, Mahindra Electric gave such services to three-wheeler market. Today, our customers are able to actually, without any inhibitions on range, can drive, charge through a tap of a button through our Nemo a mobility app we gave along with our vehicle, which is backed by our AWS cloud and services. So this is just a start. I believe there are a lot of things we can come up with. We are looking at mobility as service. We are looking at charging as service. We are looking at integrating mobility and charging as a integrated solution for some fleet partners. We are looking at already we looked at data as service, and we are monetizing such data for some customers who want to utilize the best efficiencies of the fleet. We are even looking at platform as service. I think it is just a tip of iceberg we are starting with. I think our teams are eager to work with AWS team to see what we can co-create, because the multiplier effect can come between two domains of automobile and web services which you have with Amazon, and then we'll have to co-create. I can't even say what is the potential, because it's huge.
Totally agree with you. We believe that connected automotive, autonomous, shared, and electric vehicle trends are converging now, and they will revolutionize this industry. We are in this unprecedented age of innovation, and at AWS, we want to fuel this innovation through transformation efforts. We believe our broad and deep capabilities of AI/ML, IoT, high performance computing, and analytics, with the highest performance and security, the largest customer and partner community, and a relentless pace of innovation can be valuable to this industry as a whole. With that, I want to really thank you for your partnership, Mahesh, and really thank you for spending time with us and giving your deepest insights as far as the future of automotive industry and mobility. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it.
Thank you. It's my pleasure to work with, and Mahindra is happy to work with AWS. And together, I am sure we will create something valuable to our customers in India and
Thank you.
across the globe. Thank you.